It's the 22nd of December and the town is buzzing. There's buskers playing music, the streets are lit up with Christmas lights and the most beautiful decorations. I see smiles on children's faces as they look through the shop windows. People are rushing by, getting their last bit of Christmas shopping. There's great excitement in Eddie's shop, with a huge queue lined up outside the door waiting to see Santa. The children are jumping with joy with the gifts that they receive. Christmas is a magical time for children. I see a man through the jewelry shop window picking out an engagement ring. I wonder, will his partner be surprised, or will she be expecting it? I wonder where he'll propose. Will it be romantic? Will she say yes, and will it be a happy ending? There's a couple kissing outside of Kelly's coffee shop. It's funny, I saw the same man yesterday holding hands with a different woman. Joanne, who owns the hair salon, puts a note on the door like she does every day for lunch. The note says, "Gone for lunch, I'll be back in 45 minutes. But she always goes for an hour. Why didn't she just say that she'll be back in an hour? There's the pound shop. Right now, the manager is giving out to his employee. That young lad has only been working there for a week and comes in late every day. It makes me so mad. People are crying out for jobs, and others get jobs and have no respect for them. They don't realize how lucky they are. I see Aoife coming out of the bank. We were best friends in primary school. Now she doesn't even look at me. I tried talking to her a few times, but she would just ignore me. She thinks she's something special and is involved in every community group. Her nose is in everyone's business. What a cow. Oh great, here comes Charlie. God, he's so bloody good looking. His big brown eyes, sallow skin. Can't say much for the beard, but that's a touchy subject. I know he hates the beard too, but he has to hide a scar he's ashamed of. I don't know why he's so self-conscious. It's only a small scar and it doesn't affect how handsome he is, but there's no talking to him. He thinks it makes him look ugly, then no one will ever find him attractive and his modelling career is over. I always tell him he's the most handsome man I've ever met, with the kindest heart. Charlie is a great friend. I'm so lucky to have him. He really looks after me. I met him 2 years ago, right at this exact spot, sitting on this bench. I remember it like it was yesterday. It upsets me every time I think about it. I had just had a fight with my boyfriend. He left me with a black eye. The last abuse I'd ever take from him. I couldn't go home. My parents warned me if I dated him, I was never welcome back home again, because he was bad news. I did try going home, but they changed the locks and wouldn't open the door. I walked around for hours thinking, what will I do? Where will I sleep tonight? My friends wouldn't take me in. They were afraid he'd turn up. I was all alone. I sat on the bench and cried. Charlie came over and asked me was I okay. I told him to please leave me alone. He replied, "Well, can you please leave? This is where I sleep." I looked at him and questioned, "What do you mean? Do you sleep outside?" Charlie said, "Yes, here under the stars." I thought that sounded very romantic and sad at the same time. When I got up to leave, he asked me where I was going to sleep. I told him, "I don't know where I'm going to sleep tonight, or any night. I have nowhere to go and no one to call." He got off the bench and exclaimed, "You sleep here. I'll lie on the ground. I've got a mat." From that day on, I wouldn't leave his side. He called me Puppy as a joke because I would always follow him around. Living on the streets was tough. Charlie would always smile and tell me it gets easier. I hated the way people would look at us. It was a lonely place. Nobody wants to talk to you, no one would even smile. You feel so isolated, as if you're in a bubble. No one can see you, but you can see them. People can be aggressive at night with a few drinks, shouting and throwing empty beer cans at us. Charlie would always warn me to ignore the bad behaviour, otherwise they get worse. He learned from experience. He told me, don't get into a fight with a group of drunken men. I always felt safe with Charlie. I don't know what I would do without him. We tried so many times to get work, but no one would hire us when they knew that we lived on the streets. Charlie would always reassure me that there's a job out there for everyone, to never give up. I started busking to try and make some money. Charlie was surprised how well I got on considering I sang like a crow. One day as I was singing like a crow and Charlie was going around looking for work, he seen a job vacancy sign on the window of a mechanic shop. Charlie had a lot of experience as a mechanic. His father was a mechanic and taught him everything he knew. Charlie looked at his reflection in the shop window. He fixed his greasy hair and tucked in his dirty shirt before walking into the shop. With a confident voice, Charlie proclaimed, "Hi, my name is Charlie. I have a lot of experience as a mechanic. I can work whatever hours you like. I'm very flexible." The mechanic regretfully informed Charlie, "Sorry, we just offered the job to someone else." Charlie felt deflated. He turned to walk away. The mechanic's heart went out to him. He could see the disappointment in Charlie's face. He then informed Charlie, "I know someone who's looking for a mechanic, but it's a 2-hour drive from here, out in the sticks. If you're interested, I'll give you his address, but I can't promise anything." Charlie's face lit up. It was the first time in years someone gave him a chance and treated him like a real person. Charlie thanked the mechanic profusely and ran back to me with his great news. He didn't know how he was going to get there or if he was going to get the job or not, but the fact that he was given the chance made all the difference. I was so happy for him. I assured him, "We'll make this happen." I emptied out my cup of change and counted it. Then I instructed with a smile, "Well, first let's go to the charity shop to get you something nice to wear. Then we'll organise a bus ticket for you." Charlie corrected me. "We'll organise bus tickets for us." Then we went to the bus station. Charlie asked for 2 tickets to Craigmore. The man at the desk informed us, "That will be $22.50 and the bus leaves in an hour. That's the only bus going today." I counted my change and then I told the ticket man, "I'm sorry, I only have $21.75. He coldly responded, "I'm sorry, I can't give you 2 tickets. It's full amount only." Charlie suggested, "Why don't we wait until tomorrow?" To which I replied, "No, you have this chance. You don't want to lose it. Someone else might get the job if you don't go." Charlie held my hand and insisted, "I don't want to leave you. I need you. I can't do this without you, Zoe." That's the first time I seen him so vulnerable. I always thought it was just me who needed him. I never realized he needed me too. I hugged him tight and promised, "I'll catch up with you. I'll see you tomorrow and you can tell me all about the interview and the new job, of course. You've got this. I believe in you." Charlie wiped away his tears and we said our goodbyes, and I waved him off. When Charlie arrived at Craigmore, he went straight to Freddie's mechanics. He asked Freddie for a job. Freddie greeted him. "You must be Charlie. Andy told me you might call. Can you start today?" Charlie cheerfully answered, "Yes, I can start right now." He took off his jacket, rolled up his sleeves and got to work. Himself and Freddie got on very well until Gemma came in.
Oh, Freddie had such a crush on her.
But she only had eyes for Charlie. She flirted with him and asked him if he had a girlfriend. Charlie jokingly replied, "I'm a busy man. I don't have time for a girlfriend." She smiled and laughed. Freddie turned to Charlie and told him to leave, suddenly insisting that there was no work for him here. Charlie didn't understand what happened. He didn't know why Freddie acted like that. What did he do wrong? He begged Freddie to give him a second chance. Freddie demanded him to leave and never come back. Charlie walked for hours, thinking over and over, where could he be gone wrong? How could he have done things differently? He realised that he had no way of getting back to Zoe and no way of contacting her. Then he remembered. Zoe is coming to see him tomorrow at Freddy's. Charlie ran back to Freddy's and asked Freddy, "When a lady called Zoe calls tomorrow, can you please ask her to meet me at the park around the corner?" Freddy begrudgingly agreed. "Fine, now get lost." Charlie waited all day at the park, and there was no sign of Zoe. He called back to Freddy's that evening and asked Freddy if Zoe called. Freddy lied. He said, "Nobody called for you." "I did call that day. Freddy told me he didn't know Charlie, that I must have the wrong mechanics. He handed me €30 and told me if I'm quick, I'll catch the bus back. I thanked him and left. When I got back, I didn't feel safe without Charlie. I was scared at night. I wondered, where is Charlie? Is he okay? Did he find a better life without me? Will he ever come back for me?" One night as I was sleeping, 2 men came over and shook my sleeping bag. They shouted, "Wake up! Wake up! Come out with us!" I remembered what Charlie told me. Ignore them and they'll go away. I did, and eventually they left. I never slept there again. It wasn't safe without Charlie. I found a quiet place 2 miles away, hidden in the woods. Charlie waited for me every day at the park. He's seen the usual people going past. Dog walkers, runners, parents with their children. One old lady sits at a picnic bench every day for an hour, with her picnic basket filled with tea and biscuits. Some days people she knows stop and join her. Other days she sits alone. One day she was leaving, a dog approached her, barking. She got so scared that she dropped her basket and screamed. Charlie ran over, shooed the dog away, and picked up her basket and handed it to her. She was shaking with fear. He offered to walk her home. She hesitated. Charlie promised, "I'm not as scary as I look." She laughed and handed him her basket. When they arrived at her house, he gave her back her basket. She instructed him, "You carry it into the house for me and I'll put on the kettle." They spoke for hours. Charlie told Peggy all about Zoe, living on the streets, and his experience at Freddy's. Charlie felt like he could really open up to Peggy. Then Peggy asked Charlie about his scar. Charlie turned away for a moment, embarrassed and self-conscious. Peggy gently whispered, "Don't be ashamed of your scar. We all have scars, physical and emotional." Charlie, for the first time, tells the story of how he got his scar. He explains that he had an argument with his father, and his father hit him with a beer bottle. Peggy sadly exclaimed, "That's awful, you poor, poor boy." Then she asked, "What was the argument about?" Just as Charlie was about to tell her, he hears someone walk into the room. Peggy turns to her grandson who just arrived. She introduces Philip to Charlie and asks Philip how his day went. Philip replies to Peggy's question with a blunt, "Fine." He looks at Charlie with disgust and asks him, "Have you finished your tea yet?" Charlie feels the tension in Philip's voice and answers, "Yes, I'm heading off now. Nice to meet you, Philip, and thanks for the tea, Peggy." Peggy asks Philip, can he please bring Charlie back to Burnstown? Philip reluctantly agrees. Charlie is over the moon thanking Peggy and Philip for their hospitality and kindness. Charlie hops into Philip's BMW with a smile on his face. Philip glares at him, shakes his head, and opens the window as they drive off. Charlie tells Philip how grateful he is for the lift and how kind his grandmother is. Philip doesn't say a word all the way to Burnstown. When they finally arrive, Charlie points to the road to the left. Charlie instructs, "Over there, where the bench is." Philip parks the car by the bench. Charlie frowned. Philip asks, "Charlie, what's wrong?" Charlie answered, "Zoe's gone. Her stuff is gone. Where could she be?" Charlie gets out of the car and walks away. Philip shouts, "Where are you going?" Charlie determinedly exclaims, I'm going to look for her. She's all alone. Philip runs over to Charlie and offers to help. They looked for hours but couldn't find me. They walk back to the bench and Charlie insists, I'll wait here until tomorrow. Hopefully she'll be back. You should head home. It's getting late. Thank you for all of your help. I really appreciate it. You're a good man. Charlie's words melt Philip's heart. I just want to get rid of him. And the more I get to know him, the more I want to be a better man and help him. He's such a kind and gentle man. Always so grateful. Philip turned to Charlie and told him, You should come back with me. Have a good night's sleep. We can try again tomorrow. Charlie hugged Philip, tears rolling down his face. Philip reassured him, saying, Don't cry, we'll find her. Charlie clarifies, That's not why I'm crying. I'm crying because I'm so grateful. You're the kindest man I've ever met. You're so good to me. When they arrive at Philip's house, Philip shows Charlie around and tells him he can get cleaned up and help himself to any of his clothes, shoes, and food, insisting that he should make himself at home. Philip explains, Tomorrow I have work until 2, and then we can look for Zoe. Charlie had the nicest shower he had had in years. The most beautiful smells of body wash and shampoo, the best quality of everything, the softest towels. When he went to bed, he slept like a log. He woke up to the smell of fried breakfast. He went downstairs and Peggy was in the kitchen cooking. Peggy greets Charlie as he walks in. Morning, Charlie. I called over to make you breakfast. How was your sleep? Charlie tells her, I slept like a baby, the best sleep I had had in years. After breakfast, Peggy says, I hope you don't mind, but I brought my scissors with me. I used to be a hairdresser. Would you like me to give you a haircut and a shave? Charlie's face lit up. He gratefully exclaims, Yes, I would love that. She cuts his hair, then started to shave him. Charlie puts his hand over his scar. Peggy reassures him, Don't worry, I won't hurt you. When she finishes, Charlie looks 20 years younger. Peggy compliments him. Wow, you're very handsome. Charlie smiled and said, Maybe not very handsome. Peggy asks, Why would you say that? Charlie explains, I have a scar. It doesn't look nice. Peggy insists, You look perfect. She then asks, Can you please tell me what did you and your father argue about when you got the scar? Charlie recounts the story. I came home after a modelling job. I saw my mum and dad arguing in the kitchen. I asked them why they were arguing. My father told me they were arguing about me, how he had heard I was dating men and wanted it to stop. He said he forbid me to date men and be a model. He told me that a male model is a joke. I told him, This is who I am. I'm not ashamed of it, and I'll continue dating men and modelling. My father got so mad. He pushed me. I pushed him back. Then he picked up his beer bottle and hit me with it. The bottle cut my face and I bled. I looked at my father. He had no remorse, just anger in his eyes. He hated me. That wasn't going to change. My mother was shouting at him for what he did, and she helped me to the car and rushed me to the hospital. She was so worried. I could see it in her face. When we arrived at the hospital, the nurse gave me a few stitches and told us that I was going to be fine, but it would leave a small scar. I knew then that my modelling career was over. Mum held my hand and she said, Thank God, I was so worried about you. You made Dad so angry. Not to worry, I was talking to Bridget's daughter Annabelle after church last week. You know Annabelle from primary school. I nodded and she continued. She has a soft spot for you. She asked me if you were single. I'll invite her over to dinner. I told Mum, I don't like girls. Mum said, nonsense, you just have to get to know her. She's a lovely girl. Mum then told me, there's a coffee machine downstairs. I'll get you a cup. I sat in shock for a moment, thinking, how can my own mum not understand me? How can she think that what my dad did was okay? I felt like screaming. My own family doesn't understand me or accept me for who I am. I can't live like this. I can't be around them. I got up and ran. I ran away from the hospital, my family, and my old life. Life on the streets was hard, but I have never regretted running away because life at home would have been so much worse. Peggy hugged Charlie and said, oh, you poor boy. What you have gone through was terrible. No one deserves that. Charlie felt relieved to be able to tell Peggy the whole story and to be accepted for who he is. Peggy reassured Charlie he did the right thing to leave and not live a lie. She was sorry he had a hard life because of it. Charlie assured her, if it didn't happen, I wouldn't have met Zoe, you, and Philip. I'm glad I met you. You're all the kindest people. He then exclaimed, oh, I better go upstairs and get dressed. Philip will be here soon. Philip told me I could borrow his clothes. Peggy smiles and says, that was nice of him. Would you like me to help you pick out an outfit? Charlie responds, yes, please. They go upstairs and Charlie goes through the wardrobe. Philip has the most fabulous clothes, the best quality. The first suit Charlie puts on fits like a glove. Peggy insists, that's the one. The suit looks like it was made for you. They go downstairs. 10 minutes later, Philip arrives. At first, Philip doesn't recognize Charlie. Charlie smiles and greets Philip. Hi, Philip, how was work? Philip exclaims, bloody hell, Charlie, you're a handsome man. You can keep the suit, looks a lot better on you. Charlie smiles and thanks him. They head off and Peggy wishes them luck. On the way to Burnstown, Charlie thanks Philip for the clothes and says, wait until Zoe sees me, she'll be so impressed. When they arrive at Burnstown, they look for hours but can't find me. Charlie is so worried. Philip reassures him, we will find Zoe, even if it means looking every day. In the meantime, you stay with me and Peggy. We'll look for a job for you at the same time, so when we find Zoe, you have something to show for your time apart. Charlie wiped his tears and agreed. Philip kept his promise. Every day they looked for me and a job for Charlie. Weeks went past, and Charlie got very depressed. He was sure something bad happened to me. Guards couldn't find me. No sign of me in the hospitals. Charlie and Philip split up to cover more ground. One evening, as Philip was looking in a wooded area, he saw something moving in the distance. As he got closer, he noticed it was a sleeping bag and there was someone in it. He knelt down and called, Zoe! But no answer. Then he whispered, Puppy! I looked up from my sleeping bag and seen this well-groomed, handsome man. I looked into his stunning blue eyes and questioned, Where's Charlie? Do you know him? Is he okay? He handed me one of his business leaflets. Charlie was the model on the cover of it. I responded excitedly, That's Charlie! Does he work for you? Philip answers, No, I'm a bank manager, and I asked him to model for my business leaflet and TV ads. Charlie works down the road from me. I was so worried I started to cry. Philip assured me, Don't cry, I'm here to bring you home. He's got a new job at a mechanic's, and he has a 2-bedroom apartment for you and him. I smile and utter, Charlie really is a hero. Philip looks at me. His face lights up and he agrees with a smile. I whisper, I bet he's your hero too. Philip nods, and as we walk out of the woods, I see Charlie from the distance. Charlie runs over to me and lifts me up and hugs me tight. He then happily tells me, Let's go home. 3 years pass. Charlie moves out of our apartment and into Philip's house. They get married and adopt twin girls, Abby and Amy. Charlie's modelling career took off. He gave up his job in the mechanics. I met a lovely, kind man, Jake, on a dating app. I had a child. I called him Charlie. I work part-time in a local shop, and on Sundays, Peggy and I sell apple pies at the Sunday market. We call the business Peggy's Pies. Home is where the heart is. On our business card, there's a picture of the whole family. Peggy, Philip, Charlie, Amy, Abby, me, Jake, and baby Charlie. Peggy never sits alone at the park anymore.